play. And one thing we'll notice when we look out there, Coach Cheatham, Jeremiah Tisdale, the young man, will not be playing this season for Henry Clay, and it's a shame because we will not see, as we just dropped out there on our phone again, just disconnected again on its own. And that's even trying the other phone line. Here too, we're having some phone line difficulties, but we're on PrepSpin tonight. Just go to PrepSpin.com and catch the broadcast tonight too. And we're trying to simulcast with WVLK. We're having some telephone line difficulties with WVLK hookup, but we are on with PrepSpin as well. And with Coach Justin Cheatham, Gary Ball, we're just about 3.5 minutes away from the tip here, Coach. And we've got, as I said, Henry Clay and Henderson County. Henry Clay, one of the favorites of the 11th region. Henderson County, one of the favorites out of the 2nd region.
Henry Clay comes in with a lot of talent, and boy, Gary, I tell you what, you look at the athletes on the floor in this game, it is something to see. The length, the size, the speed that we're going to see up and down the court, it's going to be a phenomenal ball game.
As we said, we're simulcasting tonight on WVLK, and if you want to watch the game and listen to the broadcast, just go to PrepSpin.com, and you will have all the broadcasts there as well. It's Henry Clay in Henderson County, and as we were talking on the onset of the broadcast, Coach Cheatham, Jeremiah Tisdale, the sensational player, out for the season for Daniel Brown and Henry Clay. Torn ACL, will not play this season, and that is a big blow to the Blue Devils, to say the least.
Absolutely. He is an outstanding talent, and he'll certainly be missed, but, you know, we've still got Isaiah in there, so, yep. You know, the Tisdale name is still represented, and quite a phenomenal talent there in Isaiah.
We'll step out. We come back. We'll give you the lineups and the tip here on WVLK and PrepSpin simulcasting tonight. And we'll have the games tomorrow night and Monday night, the semifinals on PrepSpin, and the championship here on WVLK Tuesday night. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham with WIlliam Warfield from PrepSpin, our outstanding producer. We'll come back here on WVLK and have the starting lineups here. WVLK and PrepSpin simulcasting tonight. Henry Clay, Henderson County.
This Friday at 8:45, the News Talk 590 WVLK Deal of the Week is live. It's so sweet that we only have limited quantities, and you don't want to miss out. Go to WVLKAM.com, click on the sweet deal, and start your weekend with terrific savings.
Ring in the new year at Brasabana with its unique blend of Cuban cuisine with a Latin flair. Chef Miguel Rivas, tell us about some of the dishes.
We will offer a 3-course meal. Offerings include carnitas with tender, slow roasted crispy pork, Peruvian chicken featuring herb garlic marinated grilled chicken breast, and the ever-popular Spanish paella, a well-known Latin dish consisting of saffron rice, mussels, shrimp, calamari, chorizo, chicken, and lobster.
Join us on December 31st at Brasabana. 3 seatings at $26.95 per person. Call 303-5573 for more information and reservations.
To snap up this offer, go to WVLKAM.com. Click on the Sweet Deal tab. Sign up, and we'll remind you when it goes live at 8:45 Friday morning. Remember, quantities are limited, so don't miss out. Act now and get the biggest deals delivered right to your inbox.
I'm Jack Patty. You know, choosing the right color for a painting project can be difficult. Choosing the right contractor shouldn't be. I chose Suburban Painting to paint our house. I called Ron, 276-1139. Suburban Painting has painted the finer homes and offices in the Lexington area and has been doing that for over 35 years. From exterior to interiors, custom stain work, and kitchen cabinet refinishing, Suburban Painting has the experience and professional employees to satisfy your painting needs, and now with the recent addition of their large spray booth in their shop, they can now offer shop finishing on many items like shutters and doors, lawn furniture, metal objects, cabinets, furniture refinishing, and basically any item that will fit into their 22-foot-long spray booth. Now you can have those dull kitchen cabinets refinished and updated with colors, glazes, just like you see in the Decorator magazines and showrooms without the cost of replacing your cabinets. It's all done locally. Call Ron today, 859-276-1139, or log on to SuburbanPainting.com. Suburban Painting Company, member of the Lexington Home Builders Association, BBB A+ rating, and Angie's List Super Service Award.
Lexington's only 3-day forecast. The only station you can depend on when you want the weather now. News Talk 590 WVLK.
And welcome back here to Lexington Catholic Traditional Bank Classic. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham. We're going to take a look at the starting lineups here tonight, as they're going to be announced by the public address announcer here at Lexington Catholic. And we know for Henry Clay, it will be Isaiah Tisdale. He's a 6'2 junior, averaging 22 points a game. Colby Barnes, a 6'3 senior, averaging 7 points, 6 rebounds a game. Leander Ridgway has been a starter, 6'3 junior. Jordan Houston averages nearly a double-double at 12 points and 9 rebounds. And then you got Felix Wilson, a 6'1 senior, coach. And I tell you what, when you look at this team, great balance by Tisdale, Houston, and Wilson. They're also big scorers for Henry Clay.
That's right. The speed and athleticism of Henry Clay will definitely cause trouble for Henderson County tonight.
And Henderson County, they got a big three-headed monster when you look at DJ Washington, a 6' senior. He averages 14 points a game. You got big Brady Norman, 6'3 senior, averaging 14 points a game, coach. And you got David Simmons, a 6'2 senior. He averages 16 points a game. So look at those three right there, Washington, Norman, and Simmons. That gives you about almost 50 points right there.
It gives you about 50 points a game, but outside of those three, Henderson will be very limited in their points.
Yeah, Bryce Crowley does give him a little bit. He's a senior, shooting 44% from three. Crowley averages about 8 points a game. The fifth starter has been different guys, but it looks like tonight's going to be big 6'8". Andrew Mattingly, a senior, looks like he's going to get the start tonight, averaging 3 points. So it will be Mattingly. They're going with the 6'8 kid tonight, Coach, because they feel like against this athletic Henry Clay team, they need all the height in there they can get.
Absolutely. It's hard to keep 6'8 on the bench.
So Henry Clay, they come in under Daniel Brown. What a great job he's done at Henry Clay after losing one of the best players in the state, Jeremiah Tisdale. And then Henderson County under Tyler Smithhart. They come in with three of the best players in the second region in Washington, Norman, and Simmons. And, Coach, I'll tell you what, on paper, this looks to be a great game.
It should be an exciting up and down the court, action-filled basketball game. And, Gary, I'm telling you what, Andrew Mattingly at 6'8", he's not only 6'8", he is a built young man. Looks like a linebacker.
Looks like he might have played some football as well, doesn't he?
He definitely needs to.
I mean, after all, Kentucky's got Willie Cauley-Stein at 7 foot, and he was a wide receiver in high school football out in Kansas. And how about Kentucky-Louisville today, Coach? Kentucky pulled it out 58-50 to stay undefeated.
A lot of fun to watch. You know, it was certainly a defensive struggle, and but, you know, those are good games.
So Henry Clay, we're just about set for the tip. Henderson County, they're going with Washington, Norman, Simmons, Crowley, and the big fella Mattingly. And Henry Clay, they're going with Tisdale, Barnes, Ridgeway, Houston, and Felix Wilson. Felix Wilson, of course, the son of the great wide receiver Felix Wilson that played football at the University of Kentucky. So he's from a good stock there when you look at Felix Wilson.
Shouldn't be a lot of fumbled passes then, is what you're saying.
That's exactly right. So Henderson County, they're in the maroon tonight with white. Henry Clay in the white with the blue and the light gold trim. And Henry Clay breaks the huddle. One of their assistant coaches is Lamont Campbell. And as we said, Colby Barnes, a great member of that football team, wide receiver. Felix Wilson. And then you've got Leander Ridgeway. Jumping it up will be Jordan Houston, and he will go up against David Simmons. For Henderson County. We're just about set for basketball, coaches. We expect a good one here.
This should be fun, Gary.
Tip is up, and it is controlled by Henry Clay. Coming down with it, there's Felix Wilson, and he will very slowly, methodically work it down the middle of the floor, being picked up high there by Simmons. Comes over the right side now to Barnes, Colby Barnes. He gives it back now to Houston. Just underway here, Henry Clay and Henderson County. Ball kicked there, traditional bank classic, and Trinity won earlier. They had a battle the first half with Oldham County, but they dominated the second half. Trinity, number one team in the state. They will take on LCA tomorrow night at 9. We'll have that game right here on PrepSpin. Again tonight, we're simulcasting WVLK and PrepSpin. If you want to watch this game and listen to the broadcast, just go to PrepSpin.com or PrepSpin/YouTube. Right there it is. Henry Clay Henderson lining it up, and Tisdale's three won't go. Battle for it, knocked out. Last touch there by Henry Clay. Good box out by Brady Norman.
Boy, Mattingly not afraid to step into the backcourt there and put pressure in the backcourt.
Just underway. That was the first possession of the game, and it was an empty possession for Henry Clay. Weren't able to cash in. Down low they go, Henderson County to Norman. He tries to kick it down low to Mattingly and off Mattingly's hands, and ball out of bounds. It'll go back to Henry Clay. Now we'll see our second possession by the Blue Devils.
Second possession. It looks like Henderson's going to show a little press.
Working across Felix Wilson. Down to the paint behind the back. He kicks it back out top now to Barnes. Barnes swings it over to Tisdale. Back it goes Ridgeway. Ridgeway backs it back out of there. Zach Meadows, our producer, WVLK, and William Warfield producing. As always, he's at every game here at the traditional. He does not miss a game.
He doesn't miss a game, and he does an excellent job here for Lexington Catholic.
Left side, and that shot is short, pulled out of there, and Lexington Christian. Ridgeway's shot wouldn't go, and here comes streaking down, laying it up and in is Washington.
Boy, Washington gets up the floor quickly, and right back on defense is Henderson County, picking them up full court.
2-0 on the Washington lay-in. The Colonels lead the Blue Devils here. Blue Devils a little sluggish here early on. Ridgeway's got it for Henry Clay. 2-0, Henderson County on top, working with his Tisdale, and he is going to be grabbed, and I tell you what, he is a load for anybody with all the moves that young man has.
Yeah, the quickness there a little bit too much for Washington. Washington's got speed of his own, but a little bit too much hand checking, and that'll be his first foul. Ball goes back to Henry Clay.
Henry Clay will put it in play as I look for a new pencil, coach.
Henry Clay inbounds the ball. Henderson gets a hand on it. Passes out front to Barnes.
Got one. Found it.
Barnes looking at the baseline, carried the ball.
Thank you, Coach. I knew I had another pencil in there.
There it is.
Got to have plenty of pencils, you know what I'm saying?
You do.
2-0. Folks watching on PrepSpin. Henry Clay, Henderson County. Henderson's in the maroon, and across the line is Washington. Washington, he has the only basket of this game. Cut off out top by Houston. Now double teamed and having trouble, and he's going to get a timeout to get out of that trouble. 2-0. And, Coach, what do you think here first couple of minutes of the game? Obviously, Henry Clay struggled a little bit, and Henderson County up 2-0.
Both teams look a little sluggish. You know, they don't know a lot about each other than what their coaches have told them in a short prep session. But you can bet that they'll relax, get to know each other a little bit better, get a feel for each other, and this game will loosen up some.
2-0, Henderson County on top. We want to thank our sponsors tonight here on PrepSpin with WIlliam Warfield, Kentucky Center for Orthodontics, home of Dr. Durbin Wong and Garner. And also we want to thank Edward Jones Financial, Steve Robertson. We want to thank Rafferty's Restaurants, Rafferty's with a special as you, Crown Trophy over on Codell Drive, a proud sponsor. And we thank all those folks who sponsor high school sports. 5:55, and across the line is DJ Washington. Washington looking for the pick, hands it over now to Crowley, Bryce Crowley. Down low he goes now to Mattingly, backing in, posting in, hook shot, no. Mattingly gets his own, no good. Tapped around, picked up, and blocked there on the attempt by Henderson by David Simmons, but a foul called, and Simmons is going to go to the charity stripe, Coach.
Henderson does a great job there of crashing the boards, gets 2 offensive rebounds. Henry Clay has to do a better job of boxing out.
Foul went on Jordan Houston. That's his first. Free throw knocked down there by Simmons. He makes it 3-0, Henderson County. What can Henry Clay do offensively, Coach? They're kind of struggling right now, to say the least.
Well, I think you saw there a few minutes ago when they double-teamed out front, out in the backcourt, their defense can start to create their offense.
With the basketball is Wilson. Long pass to Tisdale. He goes baseline. Tisdale lays it up and in. Isaiah Tisdale.
Boy, nice baseline drive by Tisdale there to get Henry Clay on the board.
3-2 on the Tisdale lay-in. He averages 22 points a game, and it's 3-2 now. With it, Henderson County, that's Norman. They kick it over the left side to Crowley. Crowley penetrates back out to Simmons. Top of the circle. Three-pointer bullseye by David Simmons.
Another great-looking athlete there in Simmons from Henderson County. Steps back and knocks down the 3.
6-2. Henderson, here's Tisdale going baseline, and there's going to be a blocking foul called on the Colonels of Henderson County as Tisdale took it and quickly streaked down the right side. Again, we're simulcasting WVLK and PrepSpin tonight. And we're going to have some more action on WVLK and PrepSpin throughout the season, Coach. That's a great addition with folks being able to watch the game and listen to the broadcast.
That's right, absolutely.
Shot won't go there, but on point blank by Ridgeway. Stuck back there, attempt by Wilson, but Ridgeway tracks it down. Ridgeway's got to finish that one, Coach.
He's got to finish it, and Mattingly gets a hand on a block there. But I tell you, Gary, Tisdale's going to continue to drive.
Tisdale gives it back to Wilson, back to Ridgeway. Ridgeway down the lane, throws it up, and he's short-armed that one and pulled out of there by Henderson County's Bryce Crowley. They lead it out to Simmons. Simmons down the lane, little hook shot, and it rolls in. Well, Simmons has 6 already, and the lead is 6, 8-2. Henry Clay struggling right now as Justin Mitchell gets up off the Daniel Brown bench. Felix Wilson into the paint. Wilson. Bad pass, picked off. Crowley leads it out now. Leads it out to Norman. Norman drives down. He lays it in and scores.
Well, the outstanding guard Norman runs the floor well. Extends this lead 10-2. Timeout, Henry Clay.
4:13 to go here. We'll step out here on WVLK. Come back. It's 10-2. Henderson County on top of Henry Clay here on WVLK 590 and PrepSpin.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it. You could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-203-7718. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a non-profit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call Call 1-800-203-7718. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-203-7718. That's 1-800-203-7718.
News Talk 590 WVLK.
Good job by Houston, and I think he's going to be fouled. Well, good offensive board work there by Henry Clay, getting 3 opportunities at it.
That's right, and that all started with Henry Clay using their speed and penetrating, getting the ball close to the rim, and then using their vertical abilities to keep it alive.
Gary Ball, Coach Justin Cheatham, WIlliam Warfield, Zach Meadows here, WVLK PrepSpin simulcast, 10-2. Coach, it's been all Henderson County, and Henry Clay looks a little bit out of kilter right now.
Well, they just look really flat. They look like they haven't quite come off Christmas vacation yet and ready to get back to work, and I expect that Coach Brown will have a good talking with them and get them back on track.
10-2, Henderson County. On top at the line for the second one is Jordan Houston. Here's free throw rolls in there. First point of the game for Jordan Houston, 6'5" junior. Makes it 10-3. Henderson County on top.
But Gary, when your offense isn't working, you step up your defensive pressure and let that create points for you.
Washington hands off to Simmons. They swing it around to Bryce Crowley. He gives it out top to DJ Smith, who just checked in. Now with the basketball spinning is Washington. Down low, they dump it over in the corner now to Washington. Now to Smith. Back out top, it goes to Simmons. Simmons, dump over the left side to Calhoun. Calhoun power move, won't go. Tapped around. Clay knocked out and tracked down by Henderson County.
Another offensive rebound for Henderson County. Leads to a 3-point basket.
By Crowley.
Second chance points.
Bryce Crowley makes it 13-3 now, Henderson County. 3:08 to go. First quarter action. Henry Clay's Felix Wilson goes over to Mitchell. Back to Wilson. 2:57. A little jumper by Wilson. Bullseye. Boy, that's a good sign there with Wilson knocking down the shot. I think get Felix going along with Tisdale offensively. They could get right back in it. 2:48, coaches. 13-5. Henderson. They've led by as many as 10.
Well, that was an excellent look by Wilson, getting his feet set on that jump shot. They got to get something going if they're going to hang with this Henderson County team.
Crowley's got it. He comes over left side to Smith. Back it goes to Bryce Crowley, and he's looking. Hands it back now to DJ Washington. Washington, a 2-year starter for Henderson County. Started even some as a freshman. Kicks it over to Smith. Bounce down low. It goes Simmons. Backing in. Cut off. Simmons tries to dump it to Calhoun. Goes back down to Smith. He penetrates. He comes over to Bryce Crowley to the basket. Off glass. Good. Boy, that looked smooth.
Boy, smooth floater there by Crowley to extend the lead 15-5.
Lead back to 10 with 2:05 in the first quarter here. Here on WVLK and PrepSpin. Wilson to the basket. Put it in. He will get the soup. And the Rafferty sandwich.
And the Rafferty sandwich, Gary, that was an awesome play. Drives to the right, switches over to his left hand, shoots the floater with his left, falling to his right, knocks it down, goes to the foul line to finish the and one.
That's 4 points for Tisdale now, looking for his 5th. He is a outstanding shooter. Listen to these numbers for Tisdale. I looked it up on the KHSA website. He shoots 46% behind the arc.
That's outstanding.
Looking for his 5th point of the game, and he misses, rolls out. Rebounded there by Norman. Norman's going to work it across now with a minute 50 to go in the first quarter, and his ball club up 15-7. But a couple of good signs here with Wilson knocking down a shot and Tisdale having the and one opportunity. Norman to the basket. He missed that one. Rebounded by Clay. They're wanting to push it. That's Mitchell. He leads it out to Felix Wilson. He drives down off glass. Good.
Well, that's exactly what Henry Clay wants to do there. Force you into a bad shot, run the floor, get the easy 2.
15-9 on the Felix Wilson basket, his second field goal, and 15-9 out. 10-point lead's been cut to 6 by Henry Clay.
Suddenly the body language and demeanor of Henry Clay's changed.
Washington Wilson diving on the floor with Calhoun. Instead, they get it back to Washington. Washington down the right side. DJ stops short, tapped around, out to Bryce Crowley. He lines up another 3. In and out, tapped up, no, by Norman. Pulled out of there by Tisdale. He's going to lead it out to Wilson. Wilson crossing over, kicks it back outside. Here's a 3-pointer. That's off the mark there by Mitchell. Whistle, foul called, and I believe it's going to be a clear out.
It's going to be over the back. Calhoun there for Henderson County does a great job boxing out. Henry Clay goes over the back. Ball goes back to Henderson County. But, Gary, On the offensive end, Henderson County is getting 2 and 3 looks every trip.
Right.
They're getting 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, and for Henry Clay to mount a comeback, they're going to have to limit that.
Trinity won earlier today, and Lexington Christian looked impressive with a win over a ranked Bullitt East. Bullitt East was ranked 16th in the state coming in.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting game tomorrow between LCA and Trinity.
We haven't mentioned yet in this game, but both these teams are ranked. Here's a three, won't go, rebounded on that three attempt on the left side there by Smith. Here comes Clay. Down the lane is Mitchell, and I think he's able to draw a foul. Tell you what, Justin Mitchell will not be denied. He just took it, went coast to coast, and drew the foul there going to the basket.
That's right, and that's the tempo that Henry Clay wants to play. They're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. They get the rebound. They run the fast break. They crash the glass. First one's good for Henry Clay. So it's 10-15.
So Henry Clay climbing back in it here. 15-10. 32.7 to go here in the first quarter. Good ball game here between Henderson County and Henry Clay. As we said, LCA won earlier over ranked Bullitt East team. Free throw missed there by Mr. Mitchell on the second attempt, but he has cut it down to a 15-10 ball game, Coach. They were down 10. They've cut it in half.
They've cut it in half, and that's a big swing. You get one more stop here, go for the last shot.
Washington down the middle for Henderson County out of Western Kentucky. Hands it to Norman. He passes over on the left side to Cartese Rollins, who just checked in. Down the lane, Washington. Over, he kicks it to Norman. Norman back out now to Simmons. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, WIlliam Warfield, and Zach Meadows. Here's the three-pointer, and it's no good there at the first quarter buzzer by Simmons.
Good clock awareness there by Simmons to get that shot off just in time.
Sure was. He shot it at the buzzer. That's the first quarter, and Henry Clay battled back in it. Henderson County 15, Henry Clay 10. We'll return on WVLK and PrepSpin here with the second quarter action here at the Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic.
I can tell you that there is nothing that angers me more than when we receive a phone call telling us that a family member has been abused while living in a nursing home. More alarming is that we receive these calls on a daily basis. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When we place our mother and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers in a nursing home, we do so expecting them to receive the best care. Many times we find just the opposite. Instead, we find horrible instances of bed sores, dehydration, malnutrition, broken bones, and yes, sometimes even death. These people, our parents, are sometimes subjected to suffering that is unimaginable. Only by reporting this abuse can we together stop others from suffering in the future. I invite you to visit forthepeople.com to learn more about your loved one's legal rights, or call Morgan & Morgan at 1-800-MORGAN-LAW. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Offices Lexington. This message has been an advertisement.
Listen to News Talk 590 WVLK live anywhere, anytime at WVLKAM.com.
Henderson County has the lead and the basketball, and that's Simmons. He hands it back now to Washington, back over to Simmons. He'll think about a three, Coach, but won't launch it from over there on the right side.
Uses a little ball fake to keep the defense honest.
David Simmons with 6 points in that first period. Looking. Hands it back now to Norman. Norman thought about the three. Down low, he goes to Calhoun. Off glass, good.
Henry Clay does a good job on Norman. Norman finds an open Calhoun, lays it in.
Antoine Calhoun with his first field goal. The lead back to 7 now, and Henderson's led by as many as 10. They lead 17-10 right now over this good Henry Clay team. Man, could you imagine how good Henry Clay would be, though, with Jeremiah Tisdale?
Oh, wow.
Here's a pass, and it goes right through the hands of the big fella, Tariq Smith, 6'7". He just checked in, out of bounds. So Tariq Smith in there. But back to that point, Jeremiah Tisdale, everybody felt like he was a legitimate candidate probably for Mr. Basketball.
Well, yeah, I believe so. He had that kind of athletic ability and talent.
David Simmons, down low, he goes now to Rollins. Kick it back over now to Washington. DJ with the dribble, double teamed. Now he's in trouble. Ball kicked there by Clay, and it will go back to Henderson County.
Right. Every time Henry Clay gets a chance, they're going to double team the ball handler, and it's been effective so far tonight.
And Descartes Campbell, the senior, of course, there was an outstanding guard that played there years ago for Kirk Childs named Lamont Campbell, one of the best point guards that's ever played in the city of Lexington. He's on the bench now for Henry Clay. He's an assistant coach.
Really?
Yes, sir. Led him to the state Final Four. Probably wouldn't have won the state championship if Lamont had not got injured. Here's a shot, one roll there for Norman, and here is going to be a foul. And looks like Henderson went over the back there. Yeah, it was a semifinal game. Lamont Campbell went into the table at Rupp Arena, injured his head, had to leave, could not play, so they went on and played. They barely lost the game, so a lot of people feel like they could have won the state championship had he not gotten injured, Lamont Campbell.
Well, that was an excellent box out there by Henry Clay, and that's what they're going to have to do to limit those second-chance opportunities, and Henderson goes over the back. Ball goes back to Henry Clay.
Wilson over to Tisdale, and here's going to be a whistle away from the ball. That's going to be a grab against Henderson's Bryce Crowley. First foul on Bryce Crowley, and it is 17-10. PA guy keeps calling him Crowley, but I'm almost positive it's Crowley.
It's Crowley, and that puts Henderson in the bonus already. So looks like we're going to have Wilson go to the line for 1-and-1 with 6:33 to go in the quarter.
6:33. And at the line will be, as you said, Coach, Felix Wilson. A couple nice jumpers by Felix. And a free throw that looked good as well. He's got 5 now to join Tisdale. Leading scorer in the game is still David Simmons. I show him with 6 on my sheet, the leading scorer for Henderson County. 5 for Bryce Crowley. 17-11, and short on that one. Good box out there by Bryce Crowley of Henderson. Thanks for watching on PrepSpin tonight. William Warfield producing, and on WVLK, Zach Meadows producing. We're simulcasting tonight, radio and TV. And here's a 10-second call against the big fella. 6'8" Andrew Manley couldn't get it over the timeline, turned it back to Henry Clay.
Well, and Gary, all he really needed to do was put the dribble down and take one step over the half-court line, and he could have avoided that, but wasn't aware. Ball goes back to Henry Clay.
Felix Wilson in the corner to Campbell. Down low they go now to Houston. Back it goes right side. Three-pointer in and out. Rebound Crowley, and we're going to have over the back called on Henry Clay.
Crowley gets him back. Boxes out well. Henry Clay goes over the back.
6:08 to go in the first half. 17-11. Henderson County by 6, and they get the ball back, and they've led by as many. Their biggest lead has been 10, Coach.
Well, the pressure of Henry Clay is going to start taking its toll on Henderson.
Mattingly out to Crowley. He'll line up the 3, and that's an air ball. Skips off of there. Henry Clay picks it up. Rebound there by Houston. Houston thought about letting it go out of bounds. He said, you know what, I can get a rebound here.
Right. Thought it was going out of bounds, and just pick it up, get a rebound.
Tisdale, he might have traveled. He did. He shoveled his pivot foot as he tried to fake left, go right, and in that indecision, he also shoveled the feet down low, and the official right there looking at him said, you traveled, young man.
Right. Tisdale has recognized the fact that he can take just about any of these Henderson County players off the dribble and got a little bit too excited that time.
5:48 to go, first half, and full court press being employed by the Blue Devils of Lexington. Henry Clay, Henderson County out of western Kentucky and out of the second region. Pass out top. Washington, about a 15-footer. Back of the rim, no. Good rebound there by Houston.
Great rebound by Houston, and Mattingly at 6'8".
Tisdale flips it back out to Ridgeway. Back it goes to Wilson. Over to Campbell, down the lane. Good pass. Ridgeway, triple team, and throws it right to Washington of Henderson. Here comes Washington on a bust out. Hanging foul there by Tisdale.
Washington shows a lot of speed there as well and attacks the basket. Draws the foul and will go to the line for 2.
And back to his brother, the young man just got the foul, Isaiah, Jeremiah Tisdale. How he tore his ACL was in a pickup game in an open court dunk.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Just in a pickup game. I asked Coach Brown about it. I said, how did it happen? He said, in the pickup game.
But, you improve by playing outside of, your high school team. And so, to his credit, he was out playing basketball, trying to get better.
Yep, that's true. 18-11 here. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a great one for you. It will be LCA and Trinity. That will be a battle royale.
Absolutely. Matt Rose with LCA's had a terrific game earlier today. And, of course, Spalding from Trinity, the Louisville signee, had a good game today. And so it'll be
Louisville Trinity's got, 4 or 5 Division I players on their team.
They sure do. So it should be an exciting matchup.
And, of course, you got the one of the best 8th graders in the Commonwealth in Rode, playing for LCA, Kyle Rode.
I can't imagine you could find a better 8th grader.
He is, about 6'6"?
Right.
6'8"?
Right.
So he grew a couple inches. Well, he's only in 8th grade. He's going to continue to grow, right?
And handles the ball and has the poise of a junior or senior.
Yeah. And Mitchell knocked down the free throw, makes it 18-12. And, Coach, I get the feeling Henry Clay's kind of settling down a little bit here. They were really shaky early on in this game.
They are, and they have recognized their speed is an advantage, and they have to completely change the tempo of this game to what they want, and that's what they're doing.
Pass now to Norman off glass, good. Boy, they get in transition, and Norman gets behind everybody and lays it in. It's back to 20-13.
Boy,
Henderson by 7.
Henderson does an excellent job of handling the press that time.
Wilson to Campbell. He's looking for Mitchell, but Campbell in the lane, comes back over the right side. Driving in is Colby Barnes. Rolls out of there. Stuck back nicely up and in by the big fella, Jordan Houston, 6'5" junior.
Jordan Houston does an excellent job of crashing the boards and getting the putback.
20-15 on the Houston stick back on the miss by Colby Barnes, who's back in there. Across the line now is Henderson County. Ball stolen away by Campbell. Campbell with a bust out. Left hand lays it in.
Campbell's pressure pays off. Gets Henry Clay to within 3. Henderson County taking a timeout.
Henderson County gets that timeout with 4:29 to go here in the first half. 20-17. Henry Clay right back in it. Remember, Henderson County led by 10, and it's 20-17 here. We'll be back in 30 seconds on WVLK and PrepSpin here simulcasting tonight.
It's the end of the year blowout at Auto Plaza USA. Buy a car before the end of the year and make no payments till March of 2015. Get to Auto Plaza USA in Nicholasville and experience the Auto Plaza Advantage, the home of the lifetime motor warranty. Auto Plaza USA, 3.5 miles south of Man-O-War on Nicholasville Road. Call 885-1111 or visit us on the web at autoplazausa.com. We'll do whatever it takes to earn your business.
News Talk 590 WVLK.
Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, the former Tates Creek coach, and WIlliam Warfield, Zach Meadows here as we simulcast on WVLK and PrepSpin. Watch the game on PrepSpin, listen to the broadcast. Here's the shot left side, won't go for Smith. Pulled out of there, coming out of there with it. Henry Clay, that's Mitchell. Mitchell to the basket, missed it, tapped up Barnes, good.
Mitchell all the way to the basket, gets it up on the rim, and Barnes able to knock it back in.
Colby Barnes, of course, a great wide receiver on that football team, one of their leading receivers this year for Henry Clay, and gets a big tip in there, makes it a 20-19. It's the closest Henry Clay's been in a long time.
Right, and Henderson really looks frustrated right now, looking for something on the offensive end, and this comeback has started with Henry Clay's defense.
Norman bump, but gets it out to Bryce Crowley. He hands it now to Simmons. Simmons, who had 6 early on, but been quiet here in the second quarter.
Right.
To Norman. Out to Bryce Crowley. Fakes, moves down the paint. Crowley to the basket, lays it in. Nice move by Crowley.
Makes the right decision there. He had the 3, but realized he could use the ball fake and get to the rim.
Henderson County 22, Henry Clay 19 with 3:23 to go here in the first half from the Traditional Bank Classic here at Lexington Catholic here tonight on PrepSpin and WVLK.
Henderson now in a 2-3 zone. Probably a good decision there.
Down the lane with it is Mitchell. In the corner, three-pointer won't go there for Campbell, and pulled out of there. Coming down with it is Brady Norman, 6'2 senior. Out top, Bryce Crowley in the corner. It goes now to Smith. DJ looking down low, off glass, rolls out of there. Norman thought there was some contact, no call, and here comes Henry Clay pushing it. Felix Wilson down the middle, angles toward the left, on the dribble, working there, and tripped by Simmons, no call, but anyway, stuck back up and in by Houston. Jordan Houston said, I don't care if you're trying, I'm just going to pick it up and score.
That's right. Wilson again sees that he's the quicker ball handler, drives the baseline, and falls down and makes the pass, and that counts as an assist.
We thought this would be a good one. That's what it's turning out to be, Coach. 22-21. To the basket and off glass, no, and rebounded by the big fella Houston on the miss there by Henderson County's Washington. Wilson down the lane, Wilson with the scoop and the score.
Boy, Henry Clay has found their niche now, pushing the tempo, driving it all the way, daring Henderson to stop them, and so far Henderson can't seem to do that.
First lead the Blue Devils have had. It comes at 23-22 with 2:05 to go in the first half. Right side with it is Washington on the dribble, working there, and here's going to be an
offensive foul.
Offensive foul push-off against Henderson.
I believe they got Simmons on the push-off, so the ball goes back to Henry Clay, and that's just a sign that, Henderson jumped out to the big 10-point early lead, and since then, Henry Clay stepped up their aggressiveness on defense. It's led to a much faster pace, and that serves their style well, and Henderson's really frustrated right now.
And coming back in, Tisdale and Ridgeway. for the Blue Devils, going with Justin Mitchell, Colby Barnes, and Felix Wilson. We'll check Henderson's lineup for you after this Henry Clay possession. They have it to Ridgeway out top. He swings it deep on the right side to Felix Wilson. Bounces to Tisdale. Isaiah Tisdale to the basket. School lays it in. What a move there by Tisdale.
Wow. Attacking the seams of the zone, and Tisdale gets all the way to the rim.
And quickly the other way, and the basket will count for Simmons.
Boy, what an athlete. Simmons, again, another, looks like a running back of a Division I college football team.
Yeah, I think
runs the floor well and going to the line for the N1.
I think he did play football at Henderson County.
He definitely should.
Minute 34. We're tied at 25, Coach.
It's been a fun game. We've already had a 10-point swing.
Remember, Henderson jumped out to it. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Big double-digit lead.
Right.
And what has Henry Clay done in your mind as a former coach to really grind it out and actually at one point have the lead now and have it tied here?
Right. Speed up.
Yep.
They've just sped up the game, and that's definitely gotten Henderson County out of their comfort zone. They're attacking the rim off the dribble immediately when they cross half court, and that's, prompted Henderson to go to a zone. But on that most recent possession on ball reversal, Henry Clay's Wilson attacks the seam of that zone, which is what you're supposed to do, gets all the way to the rim still. So, the Henderson County coaching staff's got to be really frustrated by that.
Matthew Watkins, by the way, he's just checked in. He's out front on that zone. Wilson, a floater, rolls out of there. Tapped up, no. And let's see, out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by the big fella, Jordan Houston at 6'5" for Henry Clay. Knocked it out. We're tied at 25. Good opportunity there. Wilson with a nice look there.
Right. Well, that time Daniel Brown said we'll screen the top of the zone. Wilson comes off that screen and, again, gets a great-looking floater. Just doesn't fall.
Left side with it is Norman. He kicks it in the corner there to Crowley. Bryce, he bounces now, and they bounce pass to Simmons. Simmons fakes, goes down, spinning. Simmons needs some help. Goes over now to Watkins. Watkins loses control of it. Coming out of there with it, Ridgeway. Ridgeway with a 2-on-1. Simmons back, hangs and scores.
Just no offensive answer for Henderson County. The Henry Clay defense, too much for him right there. Another easy basket.
Great ball game here. Henry Clay now 27, Henderson County 25, one of the top teams in the second region. Clay, one of the top teams out of the 11th region. Both teams ranked in the top 25. With it, left side is Crowley. Crowley on the dribble. 28 seconds. Over right side it goes Watkins, lines it up, and that's in and out. And rebounded there nicely by Justin Mitchell.
Good look by Watkins, just doesn't get it to fall. Boy, and what a good job Henry Clay's done on Brady Norman.
They really have.
Outstanding young player for Henderson. Able to score the basketball. I think he has, 2 points?
You're exactly right. 7 seconds. Wilson, and the ball was knocked out there and actually looked like it might have been kicked by Henderson, but goes out of bounds. It'll go to Clay. 27-25. Blue Devils on top of the Colonels. 3.9 seconds, Coach, here in the first half. What kind of play do you design here?
Well, you've got a quick hitter in your arsenal right here that you only run in this type of situation. And
see what they do.
We're going to tie a few shoes.
Henderson looks like they're going to get the big 6'8" Andrew Mattingly back in there, who started the game. There he comes. So Mattingly will come in, and it looks like Bryce Crowley will go out. So he'll man the middle is what he's going to do.
Right, so with that presence in mind, there's probably going to be a three-point shot.
Yep. Goes to Wilson. He'll line in. And a foul's going to be called in the corner by Rollins. Cartese Rollins ran out there, but he fouled him, and that will send Henry Clay to the line, and they'll shoot three in the person of Felix Wilson.
Yeah, so a quick hitter like that you have multiple options. You have an option to take it to the glass, and you have the outside shot option. And when you put 6'8" Mattingly in, you quickly decide, you know what, we'll just take the outside shot. Wilson draws the foul and gets 3 free throws.
Knocked down the first one, makes it 28-25. That's the biggest lead the Blue Devils have enjoyed at 3. They've led by 2 a couple of times, and now he's going to try to extend their biggest lead to 4. Misses it. Felix, a good free throw shooter on the season. And here comes Dakar Campbell back in. Going out will be Justin Mitchell for Daniel Brown. Blue Devils 28, Colonels 25 here at the Traditional Bank Classic on WVLK PrepSpin. WIlliam Warfield on controls tonight, and Zach Meadows back at WVLK. Second, and the third one is up and good. Missed the second, got the third. It's 29-25, and that leaves Henderson 2.1 seconds. They get it in now to Norman. He's going to have to fire three-quarter court, and it is short. So we go to halftime with Henry Clay leading 29-25 over Henderson County. Here at halftime, we'll come back and have some WL Stats halftime report here as Henry Clay leads at half, 29-25 over Henderson County.
From the Auto Plaza USA studios, this is News Talk 590 WVLK.
Ditch the oven mitts, forget dish duty. SweetJack.com just nabbed.
And Mr. Zach Meadows producing back at WVLK. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham. We're courtside here at Lexington Catholic Traditional Bank. Actually, we're up in the crow's nest in the corner, but might as well be courtside. It's a good bird's eye view up here. Coach, really a great job by Henry Clay. They jumped out falling behind by 10 points, but battled back, and they have a 4-point lead here at halftime. And you've got the numbers there provided by Kenny Bourne and WL Stats.
Well, Henry Clay didn't come ready to play, but they've certainly stepped it up, and right now they lead Henderson 29-25. For Henderson, they're led by David Simmons with 9 points, Crowley with 7, Washington with 3, and Norman, the outstanding guard, held to only 4 points so far. Calhoun with 2 points, so that rounds out their 25 points, shooting 38.5% from the field goal range, 2 for 8 from behind the three-point line. For Henry Clay, Felix Wilson leads all scorers with 9 points, Jordan Houston with 5, Justin Mitchell with 3, Isaiah Tisdale, outstanding guard, with 6 points, Kobe Barnes with 2, and that rounds out their 29 points. They're shooting 45% from the field, and that's because they're getting to the rim, Gary, and that's how they've been able to mount the comeback and have a 4-point lead right now. But, if I'm Henderson and I'm looking at this stat sheet, Gary, I'm seeing that Henry Clay is 0 for 5 from behind the three-point line. And you're getting beat because they're beating you up the floor and they're getting to the rim. I'm going to pack in a zone, and I'm going to make them beat me from behind the three-point line.
I agree, and I thought Henry Clay did a good job, too, defensively, slowing down Henderson. Early in the game, Henderson was kind of forcing their will against Henry Clay, and Henry Clay in the second quarter kind of saw some things there defensively, didn't allow Henderson County to get to the basket as easily. And then, of course, Henry Clay also got some nice baskets in transition as well. It wasn't just Felix Wilson. I mean, it was a number of guys that were able to get out behind the Henderson County defense.
Right. Well, Henderson County certainly came ready to play, and they have some outstanding athletes on this team, and they really took it to Henry Clay there to start off and got a 10-point lead. But, it all started with Henry Clay's defense, stepping it up on defense, putting pressure in the backcourt, trapping when they could, and then limiting the second chance opportunities from Henderson led to some fast breaks. And that got Henry Clay back in it, now 29-25 as we enter into the third quarter.
As we said, Henry Clay Blue Devils on top, 29-25, and Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, William Warfield, Zach Meadows. We're at halftime, and Coach, if you're, let's go to both locker rooms. If you're Coach Tyler Smithart in the Henderson County locker room, what are you telling your Colonels right now?
Well, offensively, I'm going to say we can't rush our offensive sets. They're, got some good looks, but at other times they've forced some bad shots. So I'm going to talk about being patient on the offensive end, and defensively, we're going to take away those seams and those gaps, pack in a zone. We're going to pick out who's going to be allowed to shoot from behind the arc and who to go get. If I'm Henry Clay, I'm going to say, the way you played in the second quarter is the way you're going to play for the third and the fourth.
Yep.
Forget about those first few minutes. Come ready to play. You'll beat this team. That's what I would tell them.
I think you hit the nail right on the head when you said it's like Henry Clay was still in Christmas mode, and maybe somebody didn't get under the tree what they hoped they would. But in the second quarter, they had amnesia and forgot about those missed packages and really played a great second quarter.
They sure did. And it helps when you see that ball go through the net a couple of times. Suddenly you feel good and you feel like playing again. And that's what happened with Henry Clay.
And I know you and your family had a wonderful Christmas a couple days ago, Coach Cheatham, and I know William had an outstanding Christmas. Everybody, Zach Meadows, and Christmas is over now. It comes and goes pretty quick, doesn't it?
Well, my Christmas comes in March for the tournament.
Right.
That's my Christmas. I love it.
I gotcha. And that, as we said, the WVLK, you're home for the Sweet 16 as always. WVLK 590, the home of the Whitaker Bank Boys Sweet 16 again this March. So looking forward to that. With Justin Cheatham, Gary Ball, William Warfield, and also Zach Meadows back at WVLK. Those guys do a great job on controls. We'll step out. When we come back, we'll have second half action. We're at halftime, and Henry Clay Blue Devils lead the Henderson County Colonels 29-25. Here at half, I want to thank Rafferty's Restaurants all over the state of Kentucky. Rafferty's Restaurants with as special as you, thanks to Rafferty's. We'll be back here and with second half action at the Traditional Bank here on WVLK and PrepSpin.
Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. But with the PMI Advantage from Quicken Loans, you may never have to pay those expensive monthly mortgage insurance premiums again. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I'm excited to tell you that the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. Make the smart call and talk to one of our home loan experts today at 800-QUICKEN. You'll learn how the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. License all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
News Talk 590 WVLK.
Back at the Traditional Bank Classic here at Lexington Catholic. I've covered this tournament now for probably my 12th or 13th year, Coach. I've been covering this Lexington Catholic tournament on radio. I started out at WMJR 1380 and then was at Clear Channel, and now have been at WVLK for almost 10 years doing high school sports, high school basketball, and, of course, the Scholastic Ball Report in its 12th year. You've been on that show a couple of times with your great academic teams there at Tate's Creek. Scholastic Ball Report out at WKYT in its 12th season. But it's great to have guys like William Warfield, who has just taken this webcasting by the horn, so to speak. He and I did a class at UK about a month ago where he went in, and I tell you, it's amazing the technology that they provide to all these high schools. And William, of course, with not only the 43rd District, but his exclusive webcast coverage for Lexington Catholic and Lexington Christian Academy.
Right, he does a wonderful job, and it's just a great asset for, coaches and players alike to have this as a resource. So it's wonderful to see.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that his title sponsor is Kentucky Center for Orthodontics. That's the home of Dr. Durbin, Wong, and Garner. That's right. Those are good guys over there. Give them some love tonight. And here on WVLK, how about this technology? We're broadcasting on WVLK 590, which, of course, has been the long-time for 30, 40 years, the go-to station for news, weather, traffic, and sports in Lexington. And folks can go on William's website, PrepSpin.com or PrepSpin/YouTube, and watch the video in high def and listen to the WVLK broadcast. How about that?
It's amazing. And, you've got multiple camera angles. You've got the audio. You've got it all right here. And, this tournament just really sets the bar for all other Christmas tournaments around. And where else could you see two ranked teams that we're seeing right here fight it out? And then where else could you see tomorrow LCA, an outstanding team, play the number one team in the state? I mean, you just can't see that level of basketball anywhere else.
And that will be played right here in this tournament, scheduled tomorrow night on PrepSpin. I believe 9 o'clock is the scheduled time for that Trinity Lexington Christian game tomorrow night. And I'll be here courtside along with Tony Wise, the Franklin County coach, will be providing analysis on that one. We're set for the second half. We'll have the semifinals Monday night here on PrepSpin, and the championship again simulcasting Tuesday at the 7 on WVLK and PrepSpin. How about all that coverage, huh?
That's good basketball. Henderson County back in their man-to-man.
With it is Hendry Clay. Colby Barnes. They swing it down low now to the big fella, Houston. He turns and scores.
Houston squares up well, and Mattingly doesn't move his feet, gets all the way to the rim. Henry Clay on the board first.
Jordan Houston plays much bigger than they list him at 6'5", doesn't he?
He sure does. And right there he looked it because he went up against 6'8" and scored at will.
That 31-25 lead that Houston just gave Clay is the biggest lead they've enjoyed in this high school basketball game by 6 as we start the third quarter. Right side they go. Mattingly did get away with the travel. He threw it up and in. The ball actually went in the hoop. But unfortunately for the big fella, when we say big fella, 6'8", about 250 pounds, Andrew Mattingly, he traveled before he got the shot off.
He did. He shuffled his feet a little bit, got the basket to go, but not allowed to move those feet like that.
Again, looking forward to the PrepSpin coverage tomorrow. They have all the games here on PrepSpin tomorrow, but I'll be broadcasting the game with Trinity and LCA. If you're going to broadcast one tomorrow, it might as well
be the one to do.
Two of the best teams in the state, right?
That's right.
Lexington Christian and Trinity tomorrow night, right here on PrepSpin. Catch all the games on PrepSpin. Later tonight, Williams got another game. He might as well just pitch a 10 here at Lexington Catholic. Down low, Houston, did he travel? Fisher right there saying yes, he did. I think Williams got his own barracks or bunk or something here. I think over in Coach Salzman's office, I saw like a bunk bed or something over there for a couch. Gotcha.
Well, he deserves something nicer than a couch.
I agree. When you put that many hours in. With it is Henderson County. They're finding themselves down by 6 now. Out top is Norman. He thought about the shot. Swings it around the perimeter to Washington. Washington down low. Simmons trying to dump it to Mattingly. Mattingly saves it outside, but he might have thrown it away, and he did. Boy, the big fella tried to save it to a teammate as he was falling out of bounds, but he threw it to midcourt and out of bounds.
Well, on the defensive end, a few seconds ago, Mattingly does a much better job of moving his feet, stays square, and gets the block. But his hands aren't quite there yet on the offensive end.
That's right, but they'll get there. Mattingly. We'll find out his grade here in a moment as Houston lines up a 12-footer, a little bit short. Felix Wilson gets the rebound, clears it down low, hanging, and scoring is Colby Barnes.
Great athletic play there by Colby Barnes.
Mattingly, I was thinking he was an underclassman, but Mattingly is listed as we got a timeout here with an 8-point lead now for Clay. They're trying to equal that 10-point lead by Henderson had in that first half of action. Mattingly is a 6'8" senior.
That's right, he's a senior. And Gary, Henderson, the score was 5-15, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Early in the second. Since then, Henderson has scored 10 points. And Henry Clay
is 28. 28 to 10,
yeah,
right?
So you've been outscored 18 points since
28 to 10 run here by the Blue Devils. That's why they're one of the top teams in the state. Daniel Brown knows he has an outstanding ball club. And I tell you what, when you lose a player like Jeremiah Tisdale and you still come out playing the kind of basketball, caliber basketball Henry Clay is playing, that's a credit to Daniel Brown and his coaching staff there at Henry Clay.
It sure is. He does a great job. Just the coaching we've seen tonight when Henry Clay comes out flat, Daniel Brown takes a few timeouts. Next thing you know, they're running up and down the court ready to play. So it's just a really good job there. For Henderson County, they go back man-to-man, and I'm surprised by that because Henry Clay's still able to get to the rim at will.
We're broadcasting live from the Traditional Bank Classic on the campus of Lexington Catholic High School. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, former Tates Creek girls basketball coach, William Warfield on controls here, and Zach Meadows back in the studios of downtown Lexington WVLK, where you can hear Sunday Morning Sports Talk tomorrow morning 9 to 11 with yours truly every Sunday. Sports Talk 9 to 11 on WVLK. Got some great guests lined up tomorrow, Coach, for that radio show. Here's Mattingly, and that shot won't go for Andrew. Rebounded by Colby Barnes. Steve Moss from WKYT. He's everything about UK. He's all the practices. Shot rolls out there for Tisdale. Rebounded coming out there with it, Washington.
Well, Washington's a good-looking athlete also.
Simmons, and that three won't go. Mattingly taps it. Coming down with it is Washington. He loses it, and boy, Henry Clay's going to have a bust out. Driving down, Ridgeway lays it up and in.
All the way to the basket is Ridgeway, and the lead is now 10 for Henry Clay.
So Henry Clay has taken that Henderson County lead of 10 in the first half and reverted around to a 10-point Henry Clay. 20-point swing there, Coach.
If you're Henderson County, you'd like to see Norman get a few shots.
Here's a nice, tough shot by Simmons. Well, Norman or Simmons would work, and
That's
time
right.
it was
That
Simmons.
time it was Simmons. He does a good job, penetrates, gets his feet set, takes a good squared-up shot.
Isaiah Tisdale kicks it back now to Felix Wilson out near the big LC logo here at Lexington Catholic with 4 minutes and 49 seconds to play third quarter. And there's going to be a grab called way out front. Who'd they call that one on? Was that on Crowley?
That was on Crowley, yeah, away from the ball. He was having to hang on there to Tisdale. Tisdale's got quite a speed advantage on Crowley.
All the games at Buter Gymnasium tomorrow will be covered by WIlliam Warfield and PrepSpin. Check them out. And then we'll have the game tomorrow night, the broadcast with Trinity and Lexington Christian right here on PrepSpin. And we'll come back Monday with the semifinals. Tuesday, the finals will be simulcast again on WVLK and PrepSpin again Tuesday night. You joining me for that final?
I sure am, yeah. Looking
Coach
forward to
Cheatham,
that. That'll be an awesome game.
Got JC with me in the house.
That's right. It's always good to have JC on your side.
That's right. 4:28 to go here. That's right.
Especially here.
That's exactly right. At Lexington Catholic. Oh, goodness. Where do we come up with this stuff, right? And Wilson's shot's a little short-armed, and here comes Washington streaking down, hanging, and missed it. Had a three-point opportunity. Foul's going to be on Tisdale.
Washington wants to play the style of Henry Clay, and he does it well. He crashes the boards. He runs the floor well. He's got good speed. He gets to the rim, and right there gets himself to the free throw line. And, if they can make these 2 free throws, get him right back in it.
DJ Washington at the line, and a 14-point average. He's been held to 3 tonight, looking for his 4th point, and missed the free throw. DJ kind of struggling a little bit tonight, to say the least.
Yeah.
Had a big 14-point average coming in. We talked about in the pregame, Coach, the 3 big guns, Washington, Norman, and Simmons, with almost 50 points. Tonight, they've combined for 18 so far.
Right. They've combined for 18. Your team total is 27, so the rest of your team's been able to put out 9 points.
And he missed them both, the DJ.
Just not enough scoring threats on this Henderson County team to stay with Henry Clay.
Tisdale, good look down low. Shot finished by Houston, and the foul.
It's just way too easy for Henry Clay to get to the rim right now, and Henderson's just looking for anything to go right.
Big Jordan Houston now, he's going to have double figures if he hits his free throw. He's got 9 points, the big fella.
It's really been a breakout year for him, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. He didn't play much at all as a sophomore. Now he's an integral part now. And one of those players that's stepping up with the loss of Jeremiah Tisdale. Am I correct in that?
That's right, and that's what you have to do. Somebody has to step up, and that's exactly what he's done.
37-27, 3:53 in the third. Henderson County and Henry Clay. Henderson led big in the first half. Henry Clay leading by 10 now. And there's a nice, strong move by Simmons. It's like when Simmons looks up and sees that his ball club's down by double digits, he just takes over.
Yeah, he's putting the team on his shoulders. He squares up well, uses a great power dribble to get to the rim. Puts in the basket.
He's got 13 points. He's guarding Tisdale on defense. That's Wilson down in the paint. Kicks it over to Campbell, launches, and that's skips off the front of the eye, rebounded by Simmons. Simmons wanting to push it, but Henry Clay getting back. Simmons over to Crowley, fakes. Bryce down the lane, good dump down low by Calhoun, picks it up, lost a handle on it, fakes. Calhoun goes down on Houston. That's going to be a foul called on the floor on Jordan Houston.
That's a good use of the dribble with Calhoun. He squares up. He sees he's got Houston. He puts him on the floor and draws the foul.
Both teams, 2-team foul, second foul on Houston. And in the game for...
I believe Norman's back in.
Yes, he is. Brady Norman checked back in. You're exactly right. Also in the game now is back in is Smith.
Boy, great out-of-bounds play right there by Henderson County. Gets the exact look that they want. And I guess that'll be Calhoun going to the free throw line for 2.
Looking down at my sheet, and up off the bench is 6'7", Tariq Smith for Henry Clay is going to check in at the next opportunity. Free throw knocked down by Calhoun. Back in Smith. Going out will be Houston. Houston only has 2 fouls. It's 37-30, but Calhoun can cut it down to 6 for Henderson County.
These have been 2 really good trips for Henderson County. They've gotten something productive on each of the last 2 trips. They got a defensive stop. They've got a little life back in their legs now.
Calhoun knocked them both down, and Antoine has 4 points. And the lead is 37-31. One team thinks they're going to blow the other out, but they battle back every time like Henry Clay did in the first half. Here's a handoff to Campbell. Bounces down to Barnes. Colby hanging. Throws it up. Simmons grabs him and sends him to the line. And Colby Barnes will go to the stripe and shoot a couple for Henry Clay, and the foul's going to be on David Simmons. And that will be 3 on Mr. Simmons, by the way.
Well, and the offense has really started through Simmons, through Henderson County, so they really needed him to stay out of foul trouble. What about the ball fake there by Barnes?
Oh, I know.
He sent 3 Henderson County players 5 feet in the air.
Colby Barnes free throw up and good. As we mentioned, Colby, one of the top receivers in the city. I think he was all city as a receiver.
I believe
Second
so,
team.
yeah.
And Division I talent. 38-31, Henry Clay on top. Henderson County jumped out early by 10. And free throw knocked down by Colby Barnes, and they now have an 8-point lead, 39-31. Here at the Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, former Tates Creek coach, WIlliam Warfield of PrepSpin, and Zach Meadows of WVLK. Simulcasting tonight, radio and TV on PrepSpin. High definition. Simmons to the basket, and he drew the foul. He'll go to the line. Boy, I tell you, Simmons, like I said, every time he looks up at that clock and doesn't like to score, number 11 just takes over.
Right, and again, a great offensive set there by Henderson County, well executed. Gets the ball in reversal to Henderson, to Simmons, and he does his thing and gets back to the free throw line. So, again, there's 3 straight trips where something really positive has happened with Henderson County. They've just got to get more production now on the defensive end.
2:44 to go here in the third, but at the line will be David Simmons. He's got 13 points. He's going to add to that production with a couple of free throws. Really did a good job keeping his body in between himself and the defender on that shot. Knocks down the first free throw. He now has 14 points, Coach, and I'm looking at my sheet. That leads everybody.
Absolutely, that leads everybody. He's having a great game.
Isaiah Tisdale has not scored here in the third, and he got them both. So 39-33. Henderson County not going anywhere, are they? Not going away, are they?
Absolutely not.
Down low, hanging off glass, and putting it down is Mitchell, Justin Mitchell.
Tough pass, but Mitchell handles it and gets the bank shot. Pushes the lead back to 8 for Henry Clay. Henderson with the ball.
Down the right side is Washington. Washington comes back out top to Norman. They hand it now to Washington. 41-33. Henderson County down the lane. Washington skips it back over on the left side. Smith, three-pointer in and out. Rebounded by Simmons. He hangs, scores, and he's fouled.
Boy, Gary, look who it is on the offensive rebound. Again, that's how you make comebacks, through rebounding. Simmons crashes the boards, puts it back in, going for the and-1, and Gary, they can cut this thing to 5 points. Great job there by Henderson County. Their offensive execution these last few trips has just been outstanding, and that's what they have to do.
Short on the free throw, but rebounded by Smith, and Simmons turns, missed it, goes back after it, down low, and out of bounds. Are going to say the last touch by Henry Clay's Tariq Smith.
Boy, you know, he would love to have that one back. That was a gimme, just didn't get it to fall, but ball stays with Henderson County, and they're on a little bit of run here. Let's see how Henry Clay handles it.
41-35, 2 minutes to go, Henderson and Henry Clay. Down the lane, Washington hanging and won't go. Battle for it, Simmons, and on the floor, and Henry Clay, they get it out, and then it go. It's a hot potato there. Let's see what the call is here. Looks like they're going to call a foul on Henderson County.
Well, I tell you what I see right now is a lot of heart by the Henderson County players. I mean, they are diving on the floor. It's Simmons and Washington. They really, really want this game. Yeah, they're going to get that one on Simmons, and that's his 4th, I believe. So he's going to have to go to the bench. And that's a huge blow for Henderson County because Henderson being led by Simmons right now. So he's probably going to go to the bench now for the next 4 to 5 minutes.
That's 17 points you just put on the bench there, Coach.
That's right.
That's half their points. They got 35.
Yeah, well, you just try to get through this quarter.
Yep.
See how long you can make it through the fourth. As long as it stays a 5 or 6 point game, you'll let him sit.
Comes Felix Wilson across the line. He angles toward the right side, looking, and lobs it down low now to Houston, backing in, and we're going to have a foul called on Bryce Crowley. And
kind of a touch foul from my angle. Looked like Crowley had good position there on Houston, but he got the call.
That's 4 on Crowley.
Yeah,
so he joined Simmons in some serious foul trouble.
Yeah, Simmons and Crowley now going to the bench, and if I'm not mistaken, Crowley has their only 3-point basket.
He hit that in the
first quarter, right?
Simmons also hit 3 in the first.
Simmons hit 1.
So
okay.
they got 2 of them.
Yeah, and now they're both on the bench. So
deep pass in backcourt to Tisdale. Isaiah works it across. Minute 30 to go in the third. 41-35. Tisdale stops from 16, rolls out, and pulled down. Nice rebound there by Cartese Rollins. Boy, he's a big kid as well. Looks like he might have played some football.
Washington has done a great job this quarter defending Tisdale.
Hands now to Norman. Norman slices down on Tisdale. Hands it to Calhoun. Calhoun power move, throws it up, block. Good block there by Houston. Picked back up by Calhoun, though. Lobs it out top. Felix Wilson, Washington. Good pass to Norman. Off glass, lays it in.
Boy, great pass to Norman. Cutting, moving without the basketball, and it pays off.
41-37. Henry Clay's 10-point lead has now been evaporated. It's 4. Well, that was a great no-look pass by D.J. Washington.
It was outstanding. And, Henderson
ball stolen away by Washington, and he's tripped up by Tisdale. And that's going to be on Tisdale. He's going to be in some foul trouble now.
Henderson is playing with so much heart right now, Gary, and that is what's got him back in this. They are diving on the court, going after every loose ball, moving without the basketball, and even with their leading scorer on the bench, they've still managed to cut more into the lead.
Tisdale just picked up his third foul. Remember, Coach Cheatham just referenced the two big cogs, Crowley and Simmons, on the bench with 4 fouls for Henderson County. That's about 24 of their 37 points on the bench right there.
That's right.
Washington trying to take over. Off glass, no, and nice rebounded by Houston. Houston clears it out to Wilson, and he lost a handle on it out of bounds into the Henderson bench, and that'll go back to Henderson County.
Well, Wilson trying to push the tempo, which is what he should be doing, and that's unusual for him to lose the handle like that, but he does. But you know what? They can still play defense for 22 seconds and get a stop. If you're Henderson County, you've got another opportunity to cut deeper into the lead going into the fourth quarter.
DJ Washington. (41-37) to the basket. Norman dumps it over to Calhoun. He might have double dribbled, and it's blocked there by Clay, but a foul called on Justin Mitchell. I thought that was a double dribble there by the Henderson. He dribbled when he got the ball, then he dribbled it again.
It was, and I'm surprised Norman passing that ball right there. It looked like it would have been a good opportunity for him to jump stop and take the little 8-footer, but he chooses to dish it off, and it pays off. Calhoun's going to the free throw line.
7.4, 41-37. Coach, at the very beginning of this game, of this broadcast, we said these are two really good teams. This turning out to be exactly what we thought it would be. We got a 3-point ball game here as Calhoun knocks down the second free throw. 41-38. See what Clay can do with it. Here's Wilson launching it, and he won't bank it in from the right side. We go to the final quarter of action. It's Henry Clay clinging to a 41-38 lead over Henderson County, the power from the second region out of Western Kentucky here. We'll return on WVLK and PrepSpin with Coach Justin Cheatham, Gary Ball, WIlliam Warfield, and Zach Meadows. We'll be back after this timeout.
Hi, this is Hannah Ellis for Elite Building Products. When it's time for new windows and doors, go see Elite Building Products on Faulkner Drive in Nicholasville.
Nationwide Insurance Agent, protection is personal. Call your local Nationwide agent, Holly McMillan, at 987-1440.
News Talk 590 WVLK.
Back for the final quarter with Coach Justin Cheatham, Gary Ball, WIlliam Warfield, Zach Meadows here on the News Talk 590 WVLK and PrepSpin tonight. You can go to your computer if you want to watch the game, listen to the broadcast, go to PrepSpin/YouTube. Right there it is, Henderson County and Henry Clay. You can hear the WVLK broadcast audio tonight with the video in HD quality. How about that? High def. Start the fourth quarter, and Henderson County has the ball. Washington down the lane. And, you know, when they were down by 8-10 points, it was DJ Washington who really kept them in it with his penetration.
Right. He's got some nice speed, and he was using it in the open court, and we see it again right there. He penetrates and draws the foul. So his speed is really causing Henry Clay some trouble.
By the way, that foul on Jordan Houston, his fourth, Coach Cheatham.
Yeah, so both teams experiencing a little bit of foul trouble. 2 big free throws right here for Washington.
Mitchell went out, but I believe they did call the foul on Houston. 7:34 to play at the line, DJ Washington, and he missed the free throw. Battling for it, and let's see, tracking down is Tisdale, and it looks like he might have thrown it off for the Henderson player. Washington, he did good hustle there by Isaiah Tisdale, one of the top junior players in the Commonwealth.
Saves it from going out of bounds and throws it off a Henderson County ankle, and ball goes back to Henry Clay. But boy, the heart that Henderson County has shown in this half to come back has just been outstanding. And right now, they've got Henry Clay on their heels.
Daniel Brown talking to the officials. He wants a clarification on something. I'm not sure what he's questioning, but he wanted the clarification on something. Now he's going to draw up the play. Coach, we're in the fourth quarter. It started out well for Henderson, as you mentioned, had a 10-point lead, 15-5. What did Henry Clay do to battle back, and what did they do to get this 3-point lead? They've led by as many as 10 here in the second half.
Right, they had the game in hand, and then they let up off the gas. You know, their enthusiasm, their desire has kind of faded, and as it faded, Henderson County's has risen, and they're the aggressor right now. Henry Clay has to get back to being the aggressor.
Of course, join us tomorrow night for more action on PrepSpin. Monday night we'll have the semifinals at 7 and 8:30 on PrepSpin, and then the championship Tuesday night will be simulcast on WVLK News Talk 590 and PrepSpin. So all that coming up tomorrow night. Tony Wise will join me, and Monday we'll probably get some special guest commentators as well throughout those two semifinals. I tell you what, this field, 8 of the top teams in the state in this traditional bank field.
It's an outstanding tournament, and I mean, this game right here is just a sign of the athletes that you get to see compete at this tournament is just outstanding.
That's Felix Wilson across the line for Henry Clay. Right side with a left-hand dribble, working there on Smith. Now comes over to Campbell. Campbell looking for Tisdale, can't get it to him, backs it back out. 7 minutes, 12 seconds to play. 41-38, and here's going to be a reaching foul called against Henderson County. I think it's going to go on Matthew Watkins. Yeah.
Well, Washington has just absolutely shut Tisdale down in the second half, and that was great denial defense. Couldn't even get Tisdale the ball, and Henry Clay going to inbound it and try again.
Tisdale shoots it out to Felix Wilson. He pounds it down. Out midcourt, angling right side, hands it back now to Tisdale, spinning like a top with the runner. Floater rolls in there.
Well, that's what Henry Clay needs. Get the ball in Tisdale's hands if you can. And that time they got it to him, and he cashed in.
Lead is back to 5 for Henry Clay. 6:50 to play. Washington, this Henderson County team, very dangerous. At what point do you get Mr. Simmons back in the game with those 4 fouls, Coach?
Well, it's a 5-point game with about the 6-minute mark. I'd start thinking about it at about the 5-minute mark.
Norman down low, Washington running through and powers it up and in on the clear out there by DJ Washington.
Yep.
43-40. Henry Clay's lead is a precarious 3 points with 6:25 to play.
Right, and that basket probably just bought.
Wilson lost a handle on it, picked up by Colby Barnes. He dumps it down low to Ridgway. Ridgway skips it back to Tisdale. He's got an open lane, hangs, and boy, he charges into the big fella there for Henderson, big Cartese Rollins, and Tisdale shaking up a little bit.
Well, Tisdale just drove in there like he was going to dunk over everybody.
And that's 4 on Isaiah now.
But Henderson County player had his feet set and did the right thing, stood in there, took the charge, gets the ball back. It's a one-possession game. They could tie it up here.
6:12 to play. Henderson with a 3 would tie it. Kentucky won earlier today over Louisville. Is there any doubt that Kentucky's the best defensive team in the country? I mean, they proved that today against Louisville, didn't they?
They sure did. Well, they've just proven it over and over and over
and
again. There's no denying it. And Louisville is an excellent defensive team as well.
Yeah, they are.
But Kentucky is
it's a little bit better. Here's the thing. 11 of the 13 teams Kentucky has beaten, that is their lowest output of the season.
Yeah.
Again, today, Louisville, the lowest output of the season.
And when you can play defense at that level, you can have off nights offensively. You can have ugly nights offensively, but you can still win a national championship.
That foul, by the way, went on Clay, and they called it on Campbell. Sure did. At the line, knocking it down is DJ Washington.
Washington cuts it to a 2-point game. Keeps the momentum for Henderson County, and that enables the Henderson County coaching staff to let Simmons sit a little bit longer with those 4 fouls.
43-41, but Washington could cut it to 1 as a whistle. And did we have a free throw lane violation?
We had a lane violation on Washington.
Was it? It was the shooter.
It was the shooter.
Well, you don't see that a whole lot, do you?
You don't. You also don't see the 10-second count very often, but I saw that one time recently.
5:55 to play. Henry Clay, the lead, and Leather going in their white. Henderson County in the maroon. Stopping and popping is Tisdale, and that rolls off. Battle for it. Stuck off glass, and no, but good job there by the big fella for Henry Clay, Jordan Houston. And Houston and the big fella Manley mixing it up a little bit there, taking long looks at each other as they came out of there after that foul.
Yeah, well, Mattingly wants to use his size to get the rebound, and he should, but he's still got to box out, and Houston makes him pay, gets that offensive rebound, and goes to the free throw line.
Good free throw there by Houston, knocks it down. He's got double figures in the game, and it's 44-41. Henry Clay by 3 with 5:44 to go here. Gary Ball, Coach Justin Cheatham, WIlliam Warfield on PrepSpin, and Zach Meadows on WVLK.
Boy, 2 big free throws there by Jordan Houston. Pushes that Henry Clay lead back up to 4.
5:42 to play. 45-41. Norman trouble getting it into front court. And they finally get it to Rollins, and they finally get it back to Norman in time. Norman to the basket, rolls it in. Nice move by Brady Norman. Good job by Brady Norman. Down low, here's Hughes. Put it up and in over Mattingly and draws the foul. The soup and the sandwich.
Jordan Houston just comes down, uses his size, posts up the 6'8" Mattingly, takes him right to the glass.
47-43. Thanks to Rafferty's Restaurants tonight. Rafferty's, thanks to Steve Robertson, Edward Jones Financial. Thanks to Kentucky Center for Orthodontics, home of Dr. Durbin, Wong, and Garner.
Gary Crowley's checked back in for Henderson County. So with 5:22, he has 4.
Boy, Houston's been big down the stretch here.
He has been huge. Yeah, he scored the last 5 points.
Makes it a 5-point spread, 48-43 with 5:16 to go in the ball game. Here comes Henderson County's DJ Washington. He hands it out to Smith. DJ Smith pounds it down over the right side. Bryce Crowley lines up the 3, bullseye. Big shot there for Bryce Crowley.
Well, again, excellent offensive execution by Henderson County. Gets Crowley right off the bench, ball in his hands. Nails the 3. And Simmons is checking back in, so Henderson's in a great position right here.
48-46. Ball goes to Tisdale, works in on Washington, stops. He's fouled, no call. Picks it back up, fouled again, no call. And then coming out of there with it with the hands is Washington. He got fouled twice.
He sure did.
To the basket, Smith lays it up and in. We're tied, folks.
He got fouled twice, but you can't sit around and complain about it. You got to keep playing basketball.
To the basket, Wilson, and he throws it up. And they're going to say the foul came before the shot as Wilson threw it off the glass and banked it in. But say foul before shot. We're tied at 48 all with 4:31 to go. Foul on Smith, his 3rd. And that is the 9th team foul. So the next foul by Henderson will put Clay in the double bonus.
Right.
Clay's already put Henderson in the double bonus.
Both teams in the double bonus down the stretch for the last 4 minutes of this ball game. And, well, all tied up. It's going to be an exciting finish, Gary.
At the line will be Felix Wilson. He'll shoot the bonus. As I said, they're 1 foul away from the double bonus. So Wilson will shoot the 1-1. Wilson, a 6'1" senior. Free throw knocked down. He has had a terrific season, Coach Cheatham. He's one of the leading scorers on the team, along with Houston and Tisdale. Wilson came in averaging 12 points a game, and he's about to have that if he makes his second free throw. And it rolls out of there. Rebounded by Henderson, pulled down by David Simmons.
That's right. Simmons back in the game. Fresh legs, last 4 minutes, down 1.
Simmons puts it down on Colby Barnes. Now goes over to Smith. He lines it up, and the three is off the mark. Nice rebound by Colby Barnes.
Good box out there by Henry Clay, and Barnes pulls down the rebound.
Barnes now gives to Wilson, and he's going to be fouled by Smith. Things getting very physical now, aren't they?
Getting very physical, and but Henry Clay does the right thing there, attacks the basket, draws the foul, and back to the free throw line. Henry Clay can, extend the lead a little bit if they keep making their free throws.
49-48. Felix Wilson will be at the stripe, and he'll shoot 2 because it is double bonus, and that one rolls in there for him. Hit a lot of iron, as they say. The iron was very kind on that roll.
Yeah, it looked like it came out of his hand weird, but he still got the good roll.
50-48. 4:10 to play. Lexington, Henry Clay, and Henderson County out of the Western Kentucky 2nd region. And he got them both, Mr. Wilson. 51-48. Blue Devils by 3, leading the Colonels here at the Traditional Bank Classic at Lexington Catholic. Great field, great tournament. Coming up tomorrow night, some great games tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, you won't want to miss Trinity and LCA. Shot out of the right side, in and out, rebounded by Norman. He's grabbed as he got the rebound. He's grabbed by Ridgeway, and foul's going to be on Ridgeway. Ridgeway just was not about to let Norman have an easy stick back.
Yeah, that was probably a good foul. Ridgeway, I think, thought that Henry Clay was going to go into a fast break, but the rebound, of course, came off long on his side, and Norman right there makes the smart play, going to the free throw line, and he can cut into this lead.
Simulcasting tonight, WVLK and PrepSpin. Free throw by Norman, and he bricked that one. I talked to the legendary, he stopped me out in the hallway, the legendary Tommy Starnes, the former great coach here at Lexington Catholic. He actually coached here when I played at Boone County, and we played Catholic here. All 3 years at Boone County, we played Lexington Catholic in high school basketball, and Coach Starnes was the coach here.
Coach Starnes always did an awesome job.
Free throw knocked down by Norman. It's now 51-49, 2-point ball game with 3:50 to play here from the Traditional Bank Classic. And we've got a classic going on here. 2-point game. Tisdale dumps it now to Jordan Houston. He works in on Norman. Houston hook shot short. Goes back, gets it. Powers it up and in, and he's fouled.
Boy, and Gary, the poise of Jordan Houston right there. He doesn't rush. He takes his time. He uses his dribble. He gets the shot that he wants. Doesn't make it. No one boxes him out. And once again, those second chance opportunities will get you every time. No one boxes out Jordan Houston. And not only did he draw the foul, but it was on Simmons. So he's going to the bench.
3:37 mark. Simmons fouls out with 17 points to lead Henderson County.
So
he didn't like the call.
Simmons was back in for about a minute and a half before he fouled out. And a swing of momentum right there for Henry Clay.
Some other winners here earlier today. Lexington Christian, impressive over Bullitt East, 69. I believe Matt Rose led them with 23 points in that game. And they will play Trinity. Trinity an impressive second half after Oldham County played right with them in the first half.
Listen, Oldham County had the lead, and we're doing an outstanding job. It was 20-15, and then Trinity just turned the gas on, and man, just
put the pedal to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal, and also Kyle Road had a double-double for LCA, and Benton Nybert had a big game.
Yeah. I think Trinity held Oldham over 8 minutes without a field goal.
Incredible. You watched a lot of that game, didn't you, Coach?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Norman has it. He's down the lane with left hand off glass and put it in. What a tough shot by Norman.
Tough shot. I expected to see a lot more of that tonight from Norman, and he's decided to turn it on now. It's the right time.
He's got double figures now, does Norman, with the 11. 54-51, folks. Don't go away here on PrepSpin at WVLK. This one's going down to the wire. This is going to be one of those, as they say, a fantastic finish.
Fantastic. Norman's now switched over and is defending Tisdale.
2:50 to play. Over it goes on the right side to Mitchell. Justin, and the ball's going to be knocked out there by Henderson County. They're out of the second region, coached by Tyler Smithhard, and, of course, Daniel Brown. He's in his, 8th or 9th year as the head coach at Henry Clay?
I think so.
Took over for the legendary Kirk Childs. Kirk Childs won about 600-plus games in his coaching career.
That's a couple.
That's a few. Just a few more than I won in my coaching career.
Yeah, me too.
2:45 to go. Timeout on the floor, 54-51. Henry Clay on top will step out for 30 seconds here on WVLK and PrepSpin.
Hi, my name is Scott Frazier, Vice President and Market Manager for Cumulus Lexington and News Talk 590 WVLK. I want to take a moment to wish you, our listeners and advertisers, a safe and happy holiday season. We in the Cumulus family are great.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's been my dream come true to be your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I view the people of Western Kentucky as our family. So TJ and I have chosen this time and this place to say to all of you, I will be a candidate for governor in 2015. We will start the journey to make Kentucky proud again. Thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
For 9 o'clock. In the middle goes Colby Barnes, dumps it down low, throws it right to Henderson County. Coming out of there with a Washington. Washington down the lane, little dipsy doodle, throws it up and draws the foul on Tisdale, and I believe he's just fouled out of the ball game.
Again, there's Washington using his speed and uses his body well to draw that foul on Tisdale, and that is his 5th, so he's going to the bench. So we have the leading scorer for Henderson County on the bench and the leading scorer for Henry Clay now going to the bench.
I'll tell you what, though, he did not believe he fouled, and he was kind of keeping his hands away from the player, but there must have been some contact somewhere, but kind of hard to see from this angle.
Well, the player kind of came to him and caught him off balance, and, that's going to be a foul every time.
Coming up later tonight, there's another game on PrepSpin, William Warfield. Is that Casey County? Casey County and North Laurel. North Laurel, Casey County coming up after this one. It's a long day and night for Mr. Warfield. He'll be right back at it tomorrow. But providing the service to all you fans that want to watch your kids and friends play here in this tournament. Free throw knockdown, and Coach, if he makes this, and we're going to have a 1-point ball game with an eternity left in high school basketball. 2:35, that's a lot of time.
With 2:35, and, the momentum had shifted back to Henry Clay. Now it's shifted back to Henderson, so it's a 1-point game.
And Tisdale is fouled out. Simmons is fouled out. The 2 superstars are fouled out. Let's see who steps up now for either team. Across the line, Felix Wilson. He can play. Wilson looking, and Jordan Houston sets a pick out high. He gets it back to Houston. He's got an open lane off glass. Won't go. Might have been some contact. No call. Henry Clay wanted a foul. In the middle, they give it to Bryce Crowley. He gives it now to DJ Washington, and Henderson can take the lead here with 2:08 to go. They're down 54-53. Hand it to Smith. He's looking for Norman and Washington. Can't get it to either one of them. Dribbles out of it. Hands to Bryce Crowley out near the timeline. Crowley with his back to the basket. Hands over to Norman. Right side free throw line extended. He's working on Felix Wilson. He pounds down the dribble. He penetrates. Hands it now to Smith on the right side free throw line extended. Minute 48. Norman lines up a 3. Bullseye.
Wow, Gary. Norman just stepped back and knocked down that 3 at a clutch time to give his team the lead. First lead they've seen in a while.
Here's Wilson, and that shot won't go. Tapped around by Houston. Picked out of there by Henderson. Here's a lead out to Norman. Norman drives down, scoops, and scores. And it's a 58-54 Henderson lead.
Great fast break there by Henderson.
Right side it goes. Wilson to Colby Barnes down the lane. Barnes, a little floater, rolls out of there, and a charge call on Colby Barnes.
The Henderson defender does a good job of having his feet set. Colby Barnes.
Henry Clay was in complete control of this game.
Complete control.
And the wagons have fallen, and the wheels have fallen off the wagon.
Well,
almost said something else.
The Henry Clay Blue Devils just haven't played with the same posture that they did there in the second quarter when they made that huge run, and they had spurts of it in the third quarter and here in the fourth. But, wow, to Henderson County's credit, they have played with so much heart through this entire game, through the ups and downs.
Ridgeway is going to check in. Colby Barnes out for Henry Clay. Minute 18 to go here. 58-54. Looked like Henry Clay had this game in hand,
Yep.
and then Henderson County, they lost Simmons, their superstar, but then Isaiah Tisdale fouled out for Clay, their superstar, and that kind of equalized that situation. And a young man by the name of Norman has taken over with a
and then
three.
Norman just takes off.
Yeah, a three-pointer. He buried from the right side, then in transition, an easy lay-in. So he's got the last 5 points to put him up now, 58-54. We'll step out. We'll come back on WVLK News Talk 590 and PrepSpin with the final minute of the game here with Henderson County leading 58-54.
It's the end of the year blowout at Auto Plaza USA. Buy a car before the end of the year and make no payments till March of 2015. Get to Auto Plaza USA in Nicholasville and experience the Auto Plaza Advantage, the home of the lifetime motor warranty. Auto Plaza USA, 3.5 miles south of Man-O-War on Nicholasville Road. Call 885-1111 or visit us on the web at autoplazausa.com. We'll do whatever it takes to earn your business.
News Talk 590 WVLK.
With Coach Justin Chief, Gary Ball with WIlliam Warfield of PrepSpin and Zach Meadows of WVLK simulcast tonight, radio and TV. If you want to watch the game, listen to the broadcast, go to PrepSpin /YouTube or PrepSpin.com. Right there it is. Henderson County coach coming down to a big possession here and almost thrown away, but bailed out there by Washington. Washington's got it, dribbles down with 1:10 to go. His team up 4. Norman hands it deep in the corner now to Rollins. Swing it around to Bryce Crowley. You know, Crowley's been really big in this game.
He's been strong, great strong player. Looks like Henderson County's going to play a little four corners basketball.
Bryce Crowley
make him
now.
foul.
And there's going to be a reaching foul called on Henry Clay. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have our Crown Trophy postgame show. Crown Trophy, they're over on Codell Drive, Will Height, excuse me. They're right behind Starbucks there on off of Nicholasville Road. Crown Trophy. See the great folks over there. That's Ryan Tyson and the gang over at Crown Trophy. Free throw knocked down by Bryce Crowley. He's got 11. We'll give you the final numbers on the game, wrap things up, and tell you if you want to watch Casey County North Laurel, just keep it right here to PrepSpin. They'll have that game for you tonight. Free throw knocked down by Crowley. He's got a dozen points now, Coach. He's been big.
What's a well-executed trip? Converted into 2 free throws for Henderson County.
Down the lane, a runner by Campbell, no. Battling there is Houston. He shovels it back outside, and a shot put up there for Mitchell, and a foul called, and that will send Justin Mitchell to the line with 44 seconds. One on Cartese Rollins, his second. Double bonus time. At the line will be Justin Mitchell, the 6-foot junior, had 3 points from the line as a field goal here in the second half, and he knocks down the free throw. You know, ain't over till the fat lady sings it. If he knocks down his free throw, it's only a 4-point ball game.
Right, and he needs to make the free throw if you're Henry Clay, first of all, for the point, but also so you can set your press. And certainly if Henderson County throws over here into this corner again like they did the last time, you would think that Henry Clay will put a little bit stronger trap there.
Free throw rolls off of there, tapped around. Henry Clay's got it back, and off the right side won't go Mitchell. On the floor, picked up by Washington. 60-55, and Henderson's got it. Bryce Crowley leads it out to Washington. Washington leads it down. Norman lays it up and in, and that may just about do it.
Boy, Norman runs the floor again so well. Washington finds him. Great pass, assist.
14 second-half points by Brady Norman.
Outstanding second half. Yeah, he was really quiet. I was wondering where he was.
Had 2 baskets in the first half. He's got 14 points. He's got 5 field goals and a tray and a free throw here in the second half. Brady Norman came in averaging over 14 points. He's a 6'2 senior for Henderson. He's quite frankly been the difference here in the second half.
Well, when they needed him most, when Simmons went to the bench, Norman stepped it up and has led the team since then.
At the line is Mitchell, and he rattles in the free throw. 7 now for Justin. Averages about 5 a game.
So, Gary, we had a 10-point lead from Henderson. A 10-point lead then by Henry Clay.
Yep. Missed it. Battleford Houston picked up by Henderson's Norman with 19.3 seconds. And this will march Henderson County back up to the charity stripe with a 6-point lead, and they'll shoot a couple of free throws. Daniel Brown and Henry Clay, a team that was really snake-bitten at the beginning of the season when Jeremiah Tisdale, the superstar, in a pickup game, went in for an open dunk. Nobody even guarded him. Came down, tore his ACL.
Yeah, that's
and
really
one of the best
unfortunate.
players in the state, a Mr. Basketball candidate, and he's out for the year. But his younger brother Isaiah Tisdale trying to help pick up the slack.
And Isaiah had a great game tonight. Henderson made some adjustments, and Washington stepped up the defensive intensity on Tisdale and really limited his touches in the second half, and I think that was key for Henderson County.
So timeout, 63-56. We'll be back on WVLK 590 News Talk of WVLK and PrepSpin after this 30-second timeout.
Hi, my name is Seth Brewer. My wife Renee and I own Wine and Market at 191 Jefferson Street on the corner of Jefferson and 2nd.
Today's #1 reason to love SweetJack.com? Buffets. With just a couple of clicks at SweetJack.com, you can nab $50 to spend at Ryan's, Old Country Buffet, and all your favorite buffet restaurants for just $30. Savor a just like Mama made it home-style meal at over 300 nationwide locations. Tap into SweetJack.com on your phone or computer right now for 40% off your local Ryan's and Old Country Buffet restaurants.
Sweet Jack, now that's a real sweet deal.
Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, William Warfield, and Zach Meadows here simulcasting WVLK and PrepSpin tonight. Check out a little bit later tonight. It'll be North Laurel, Casey County. And tomorrow night we'll be broadcasting all the games on PrepSpin, and I'll be having the call of the Lexington Christian Trinity game. That's scheduled approximately 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Coach Tony Wise will join me for that one. Monday we'll have the semifinals, and Tuesday the championship, both free throw knocked down by Norman. Now, he has been sensational here in the second half.
He's
That's
been
15
sensational,
second half.
and Henderson County has executed, played with heart even when they were down, and made their free throws down
Wilson
the stretch.
tries to launch a three, won't go. Rebound, Henderson County's going to run out the time here and move on in this tournament as a winner in the winner's bracket. They will win it 64-56 over Henry Clay. Henderson County, they led by 10, they trailed by 10, and they come back and pull it out 64-56. We'll come back, Crown Trophy postgame show, and wrap it up with the final numbers here. Final score, Henderson County 64, Henry Clay 56 on WVLK and PrepSpin. We'll be back after this.